Freemason clinically died for over 15 minutes and was told 3 huge things in heaven NDE. I always believed I understood the mysteries of the universe. For most of my life, I had been a seeker of knowledge. Not the ordinary kind found in schools or textbooks, but the hidden truths, the wisdom whispered through the ages, passed down in sacred texts, symbols, and rituals. As a 33rd degree Freemason, I had dedicated decades to studying esoteric philosophy, ancient traditions, and the great mysteries that governed existence. I had sat among men who prided themselves on unraveling the deeper truths of reality. Men who believed that, through discipline and mastery, they could ascend beyond the ordinary. And I thought I had grasped it all. I thought I had discovered the divine blueprint of the universe, the unseen forces that shape destiny. I believed that through knowledge and understanding, I could unravel the secrets of life and death itself. But everything I thought I knew crumbled on the night I died. The moment everything stopped, it began as an ordinary evening, a lodge meeting like so many others before it. I was surrounded by my brothers, the men with whom I had shared long discussions on philosophy, metaphysics, and enlightenment. The room was dimly lit, its old wooden walls lined with books, the air thick with the scent of candle wax and aged parchment. There was something timeless about these gatherings. When we sat together, speaking in measured tones about the nature of the soul and the grand design of existence, I felt as if I were stepping into a realm beyond time itself. A space where ancient knowledge still held power, where the whispers of the past could still be heard. I had no reason to think that night would be any different. But then, something shifted. At first, it was a subtle discomfort, a strange pressure in my chest that made me shift slightly in my chair. I ignored it, focusing on the discussion at hand. But within seconds, the discomfort deepened, spreading like an invisible weight pressing down on my ribcage. I rubbed my sternum absent-mindedly, trying to push away the sensation. Then the pain struck, a sudden, sharp, crushing force, as if an iron fist had seized my heart and begun squeezing with unrelenting pressure. I inhaled sharply, my breath catching in my throat. My fingers clenched into a fist. I tried to speak, to call for help, but all that came out was a weak gasp. The world around me tilted, the candlelit room blurred, the voices of my brothers distorting as if I had suddenly been submerged underwater. My vision narrowed into a tunnel, the edges darkening, my surroundings fading away. I knew with chilling certainty what was happening. I was dying. A heart attack, sudden and merciless. I wanted to fight it, to push against the darkness pulling me under, but my body was no longer mine to command. My legs buckled beneath me, and before I could stop myself, I was falling. I felt nothing when I hit the ground. The last thing I saw was the blurred faces of my brothers standing over me, their mouths open in silent shock, their voices too distant to reach me. Then nothing. 15 minutes of death. I was gone. For over 15 minutes, my heart did not beat. My body lay motionless on the cold floor of the lodge while the men around me scrambled to revive me, their voices rising in panic. Someone called for an ambulance. Others tried to shake me awake, pressing their hands to my chest, begging me to breathe. But I was not there. By all medical definitions, I was dead.
No pulse.
No brain activity. My body was an empty shell, devoid of movement, breath, or warmth. Yet, for me, those 15 minutes did not feel like unconsciousness. They were not a void of nothingness, nor a fleeting instant lost to time. In those 15 minutes, I saw more than I ever had in my entire lifetime. Crossing over. At first, there was only darkness, a complete, all-consuming void that stretched in every direction, endless and infinite. It was unlike anything I had ever known. Not the darkness of night, not the silence of deep sleep, but something absolute. I was aware, yet I had no body. I could not see my hands, nor feel the floor beneath me. I had no heartbeat, no breath, no weight to anchor me. For a terrifying moment, I thought this was it. This was death. A silent, eternal abyss. A crushing loneliness filled me. Something deeper than emotion, something primordial. Was this where all souls went? Was this the end of everything? Then I saw the light. It was faint at first, a tiny pinprick in the infinite void. But as I focused on it, it began to grow, expanding, radiating until it engulfed everything around me. And with it came a force, a pull, an irresistible current dragging me toward the light. I did not resist, couldn't. There was something about it, something familiar yet entirely beyond my comprehension. It was not just light, it was alive. It carried warmth, peace, and something I can only describe as love in its purest form. As I moved closer, I felt the last remnants of my earthly self peeling away. My fear dissolved. My pain vanished. The memories of my body, my struggles, my ambitions, all of them faded, leaving only an overwhelming sense of freedom. And then I saw them, the beings of light. Figures emerged from the light, shimmering, radiant forms unlike anything I had ever seen. They had no defined faces, yet I could sense their presence, their awareness. They were not human, not in the way I understood, but they were familiar. I knew, in an unshakable way, that they were watching me, studying me with a wisdom that stretched beyond time itself. Then one of them stepped forward. This being, brighter than the rest, radiated an authority that I could not describe. I could not hear a voice, but I did not need to, because when it spoke inside of me. Sir, you have sought wisdom in symbols and secrets. Sir, it said, sir, but the truth is far simpler. You must return, but before you do, you will be given 3 great revelations. I had spent my entire life believing that I understood reality, that through the study of esoteric wisdom, I had uncovered hidden truths. But now, as I stood before something beyond comprehension, I realized how little I truly knew. I braced myself, and then the first revelation began. Revelation number 1. The true meaning of brotherhood. The light around me shifted, and suddenly, I was no longer standing in the celestial void. Instead, I saw something that defied all comprehension. A vast, endless web stretching across the universe, pulsing with radiant golden light. At first, it appeared to be an intricate lattice of energy, an unbroken network stretching far beyond what my mind could conceive. But as I looked closer, I realized these strands were not just energy, they were connections between souls. Each thread vibrated with life, forming an infinite interwoven tapestry that bound every living being together. It pulsed with movement, each flicker of light traveling across countless threads like ripples in an endless ocean. I watched in awe as I saw the unseen truth, every action, every thought, every word spoken or left unsaid. Each of them sent ripples through this cosmic web, affecting others in ways we could never imagine. I saw my own thread woven within it. The choices I had made, both good and bad, were imprinted here, their effects stretching far beyond what I had ever understood in life. For decades, I had believed that wisdom was found in secret knowledge, in the pursuit of enlightenment through rituals, symbols, and ancient teachings. I had spent my life chasing hidden truths, convinced that real power lay in understanding the mysteries of the past. But now I understood how wrong I had been. One of the luminous beings spoke, its voice resonating inside my soul. You have spent your life in a brotherhood that seeks enlightenment, but true brotherhood is not found in secret oaths or hidden knowledge. It is found in love, in service, in recognizing the divine in every person. I trembled at the weight of these words. The greatest mystery, the deepest truth, had never been hidden in Masonic lodges, in ancient texts, or in secret rituals. It had always been simple: love, service, connection, not just with those in our chosen circles, but with everyone. I had spent so much of my life separating those who knew from those who didn't, believing that knowledge elevated certain individuals above others. But standing here, seeing this universal web of souls, I realized that there was no separation. We were all one. The true test of enlightenment had never been about the secrets we kept, but about how much love we shared. I wanted to weep. I had wasted so much time chasing wisdom when the greatest truth had always been within reach. I wanted to go back. I wanted to live differently. But before I could say a word, the vision shifted again. Revelation number 2. The illusion of power and control. Now, I saw something even more startling. I was no longer standing outside the universe, gazing upon the great web of souls. I was seeing my own life. Moments from my past unfolded before me, each one flashing like scenes from a film. But these were not just memories. I was reliving them, feeling them as though they were happening again. I saw myself as a young man, ambitious and hungry for knowledge, striving to ascend through the ranks of the Masonic order, believing that if I just learned enough, I could somehow control my fate. I saw myself grasping for influence, believing that knowledge equaled power, that if I could just master the secrets of the universe, I could rise above the ordinary struggles of human existence. I had believed that, through my own will and intellect, I could shape my destiny. But now I saw the truth. Control is an illusion. The luminous being spoke again. You have sought control over your destiny, yet no man controls his next breath. Every heartbeat is a gift. Every sunrise is a blessing. Surrender is not weakness. It is the ultimate strength. The words pierced me. I had spent my life trying to master fate, believing that if I had enough knowledge, power, or influence, I could shape the course of my life. But standing here, in the presence of something far greater than myself, I understood. No one is in control. Not kings, not scholars, not the wisest of men. We are all at the mercy of the divine will, of forces far beyond our understanding. Life itself was a gift, each moment something to be cherished, not controlled. I had wasted so much of my life trying to grasp at power, never realizing that true strength lay in surrender, in embracing life with humility, not with control. And then, as I was absorbing this revelation, the light around me dimmed. Something was coming, something huge. Revelation number 3, the coming shift. The final vision shook me to my core. I saw Earth, but it was trembling. Not from war, not from natural disasters, something far deeper. I saw people clinging to illusions, chasing after wealth, after influence, after temporary pleasures, never realizing how close they were to the edge of a great change. The luminous being's voice echoed with warning. A great shift is upon your world. Many will cling to false truths, to division, to fear. But those who awaken to love, humility, and unity will stand firm. I watched as people were divided, drawn further into conflict, driven by fear and greed. But among them, there were those who shone like lights in the darkness. Not rulers, not scholars, ordinary people, those who had chosen love over fear, humility over pride, unity over division. The world will be tested, the voice said. Each soul must choose. And then, everything collapsed around me. The light vanished. The voices faded. And I was falling, returning to life. I woke up with a violent jolt, gasping for air. A nurse screamed. A doctor dropped his clipboard. Machines beeped frantically. I had been dead for 15 minutes. But I was back. And I was not the same man. The symbols, the rituals, the hidden knowledge I had once cherished. It all felt so small now, because I had seen the greatest secret of all. And it was love, not power, not hidden wisdom, not secret teachings. Love, connection, surrender. Now, when people ask me what I learned on the other side, I smile and tell them the only truth that matters. Love is the only truth. The rest is just noise.